guys, I hope your week is going well. Sorry for the very late weekly update, but I didn't want to go without having our devotion from Joseph's life. If you remember, we dropped off with Joseph being sold to a man named Potiphar, and just how unfair that all seemed, unless we remember that there is a sovereign God that is in control and a good God. And Joseph had that perspective, because instead of having an attitude about his situation, he decided he was going to be the best servant that he could be. And Potiphar noticed. As a matter of fact, Potiphar kept promoting him. And before you know it, Joseph was basically over Potiphar's household. I mean, when Potiphar went out of town, Joseph was in charge. Well, someone else also noticed Joseph and all of his hard work. That was Potiphar's wife. Now, Potiphar's wife, we call her Mrs. Potiphar, she was trying to get close to him, and one day was like, hey, don't you want to come over here and give me a little hug, a little kiss? Well, Joseph, being a righteous man, knew that you didn't mess with a married woman, definitely didn't mess with your boss's wife, and said no. Well, Potiphar's wife did not appreciate hearing no, and grabbed him by the coat. Well, Joseph did what anybody in a rough, tempting situation would do. He ran. A lesson that we can learn from Joseph here. He ran, and Potiphar's wife was enraged. She started screaming for Potiphar, and Potiphar comes in. What? Joseph tried to kiss me. Here's his coat to prove it. Now, first of all, if we know that's a lie. Joseph did the right thing, and this crazy lady is lying on him. Well, Potiphar, whether to save face or whether he really believed his wife, we're not sure, had Joseph thrown in prison. Now, guys, this is new level unfair. It went from not being in control of the situation to he was doing the right thing and gets thrown in prison. That is unfair. But you know, when he gets thrown in prison, the Bible tells us, and the Lord was with Joseph. Now, guys, from this, I want us to take a little lesson of what is our motive for doing the right thing. Now, I'm just going to be honest. A lot of time, my motive for doing the right thing is because I don't want to get in trouble, and I don't want to have to pay the consequences for doing the wrong thing. But our motive for doing the right thing should be because it's the right thing, and it's who God has created us to be. I mean, if we go all the way back to Adam and Eve, and when sin came into the world, we, in our sin, is not how we're supposed to be. When we are saved by Jesus, that sin nature, that thing that is in us, I mean, it's killed. And we are to be righteous and to do the right thing. When we choose to do the wrong thing, which we all constantly choose to do, we have influences, we have our own sin nature, our own minds that are kind of corrupt and can easily deceive us. We are stepping out of who we are created to be. So I think the first big lesson here is know who you're created to be in Christ. We are not meant to sin. That's not what we're designed to do. We are designed to have a relationship with God and designed to do righteousness and to always do the right thing. And so when we have all these choices to make about the attitudes that we have, the way we think about something, and yes, our actions, we need to stop and consider, what is the right thing here? What would God have me do? How am I designed in Christ to do this? And Joseph did the right thing. Now, a lot of times we rationalize not doing the right thing because, well, I don't see how that can be done. That's going to be really difficult. People are going to think I'm crazy. People are going to laugh at me. This is going to make my life really difficult. And in our culture today, that's very easy to see, is doing the right thing is actually going to be difficult for us to do, sometimes even financially. Someone may not get a promotion, or someone may not get into a certain friend group because they're choosing to do the right thing. In a sinful world, it costs something to do the right thing. But guys, Joseph didn't think about and was not taking into account, is this easy or not? It was, this is the right thing, and the consequences of this, I'm going to leave to God. He is honorable in God's sight, sitting in prison, having done the right thing. And let's give God some credit here, all right? God is with him. and there's a reason why he has to be in prison. It goes back into trusting our God's plan. Our job is to do the right thing.